Have you ever been put in a situation where someone has said something that made you uncomfortable? Hey, it's Nampthing Others. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, hey, uplifters. Let's talk about harassment. And I'm trying to get in a habit of not saying the full things because just making sure that I don't trigger anyone because sometimes people are sensitive to certain words, and I'm trying to get better with that. I've always been an unfiltered person when it comes down to saying the right names because I feel like the right names need to be said to bring awareness, in my opinion, properly. But I'm trying my best to not say the words. So let's talk about harassment. We find everything, not everything, but some stuff to be joking. Like someone just like touching us and we could possibly feel uncomfortable, but we don't think we think that someone doesn't mean any harm by it, by saying certain things to us or touching us in a certain way. But it can possibly be harassment. What is harassment? It includes unwelcome I'm going to say the right things for this because it only makes sense. Unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical harassment of a sexual nature in the workplace or learning environment. I also feel like it doesn't matter where you're at, you can be harassed. Anyone can be sexually harassed. And it's never okay. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what someone knows about you or think they knows about you. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if you're super attractive and everyone's attracted to you. No one should be a victim of harassment. What does sexual harassment look like? It can happen in a lot of circumstances. It doesn't have to be in a specific place or in a specific environment. It can happen anywhere and look different. A harasser can identify with any gender and they can have any relationship to the victim. It could be someone that you see on a daily basis. It could be someone that you see once in a while. It could be with somebody random. It does not matter. I'll go over some forms of sexual harassment. All of the information that I only get is from Rain, and some is from experience, some is from like just seeing stuff. But when it comes down to these certain topics, I like to get my information from Rain. But I'm pretty sure there's other resources out there, but this is my go-to. Making conditions of employment or advancement dependent on sexual favors, either explicitly or implicitly. Physical acts of SA, requests for sexual favors, verbal harassment of a sexual nature, including jokes referring to sexual acts or sexual orientation, unwanted touching or physical contact, unwelcome sexual advances, discussing sexual relations, stories, fantasies at work, school, and other inappropriate places, feeling pressure to engage with someone sexually, exposing oneself or performing sexual acts on oneself, unwanted sexually explicit photos, emails, or text messages. It's a difference between harassment and assault, so let's get into that. Harassment is a broad term including many terms of unwelcome verbal and physical sexual attention. Assault refers to sexual contact or behavior, often physical, that occurs without the consent of the victim. Harassment generally violates civil laws. You have a right to work or learn without being harassed, but in many cases, it's not a criminal act. While assault usually refers to acts that are criminal, some forms of SA includes of the victim's body, also known as rape, attempted rape, forcing a victim to perform acts such as oral sex or of perpetrator's body, fondling or unwanted sexual touching. So there is a difference, and sometimes someone cannot be charged when it comes down to harassment, but if you are uncomfortable and it's someone that you work with or you go to school with, you can report it to a superior and see what can be done about it. But it's never okay for someone to sexually harass you. Never okay to sexually harass someone. If you're not educated on what it is and someone is telling you like, you're making me feel uncomfortable. And if you know that person, or if you're just like, oh, how did I make you feel uncomfortable? What can we do to change it? Ask those questions instead of getting offended, because you made someone feel uncomfortable. At the same time, we don't know someone's trigger points and we don't know someone's boundaries. So be respectful at all times. And it's hard to know that, but by getting to know someone, or not even that, as the fact if someone is saying that you made them uncomfortable, respect it. So this topic reminds me of a show that I watch. So it's Summer House on Martha's Vineyard. Never heard of it. It's like when friends get together, they go on vacation for the summer and they spend time with each other. It's new friends come along, old friends. It's a reality show. So I don't know, I forgot their names because the season is over, but one man is really like touchy, or whatever the case is. He likes to touch, he likes to put his arm around people, he likes to like do certain things. He's super affectionate, and that kind of rubs some of the women the wrong way. But instead, they didn't think too much of it, but they thought something of it to go and like talk about it amongst themselves and to someone, to another man. And then like the man like kind of had a conversation with the one that's affectionate, the man that's affectionate, was like, you know, like, you are kind of touchy, and the girls are saying this. And he was taken aback by it because he's like, well, like, what? Like, he was really taken aback by the whole concept of him making them uncomfortable. After they had the talk, he ended up asking them, like, do I make you guys uncomfortable? And they was like, well, you kind of too touchy. And they worked it out. But my whole point is, if someone is telling you something, or if people around you are telling you that you are a certain way, don't be so defensive. You can take the criticism and actually work on it, because you don't have to be a bad person to make someone uncomfortable. Being aware is really important. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.